Hi everyone, let's go through my macro, high time frame, medium time frame, low time frame and micro counts, including some new scenarios and potential trading setups. I also have a very big announcement at the end, so stay tuned. Then on the macro time frame, my bullish count is this being a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 2, the COVID low perfectly bouncing on the golden pocket over here, and wave 4 perfectly bouncing on the 0.5 fib taken from the low of 2 to the high of 3. Another thing that is important with the wave 4 low is that it is made exactly on the 0.618 fib time taken from the low of 2 to the high of 3, and we also have a volume spike at the low of wave 4, and volume is very important for reversal area, so that is actually very interesting. If we then look at the potential targets for this bullish scenario, wave 5 most common area I would say is between the 100k and the 174k, which are these fibs over here, the 1.236 and the 1.618 taken from the high of 3 to the low of 4. Then the less common area is basically between the all-time high and the 100k, and the reason for that is that we have the 1-to-1 over here, which is taken from the low of 1 to the high of 1 to then the low of wave 4. However, the 1-to-1 is a single confluence, and these fibs over here are the most common wave 5 target areas. Basically, between these fibs is the most common target area, and we have another way to calculate a target area for wave 5, the 0.618, taken from the low of 1 to the high of 3 to the low of 4 inside this same wide target area, and that makes the 100 to 174k area for me the most interesting area. Of course, we will go up in waves eventually, like a 5-wave structure, and the potential trading setup is the moment that we would retrace, entering potential longs, stop loss below the low of this wave 4, as that is a very clear validation, and then one big ass swing trade all the way to the moon. Then the bearish scenario is that wave 5 is currently the all-time high, as you can see, and we are currently in a WXY, and a WXY is a 333 wave structure with a 3 in the W, a 3 and then the X, where this area where we are right now is going to be mega important for this potential wave X, as well as, by the way, the bullish scenario. And then we would expect a move to the downside in wave Y, where also a common target will be the golden pocket area between basically 9 and 12k, I should say, because we also have this support resistance area that we never backtested after the bull run in 2020. And currently, as you can see, this over here is a very important support resistance area, and we also have the high time frame range value area low, which is the white line over here on the chart from this range over here that can act as very nice resistance. If we then go to the high time frame, which is the daily chart bullish scenario, I'm looking for the following. So from the all-time high down, we have a WXYXZ with here wave X just shy of its usually minimum target of the 0.382, and wave Z hitting its rare target, which is fine. Now the validation is taking the low of wave Z, and we now expect a move to the upside. The real question is wave 1 over here, with this being over here wave 2, or is wave 2 going to be here on the right and wave 1 going to be made here? In my opinion, if this is over here a wave 2, with then the yellow wave 1 being over here, this wave 2 is incredibly short compared to the wave 1. This wave 2 is even shorter than the 0.382 fib time taken from the low to the high of 1, which is incredibly rare, as usually wave 2 is at least 0.382 time-wise compared to wave 1. So my preferred scenario would be to have wave 1 finish in the support resistance area, basically between 28k and about 32, 34k, with then a move to the downside, where the wave 2 most common targets are these between the 0.5 and the 0.786 taken from the low of Z to then the potential high of wave 1, with the golden pocket being the most common target area for wave 2. So therefore a potential short setup can be laddered in the area which we are very close to, and then trading it to the downside. I should say it is more risky to trade in a very bullish environment, but we are getting in a lot of resistance, so make sure that you have a solid strategy, solid entry requirements, and a good risk management. So far, the impulsive volume over here looks very good, with a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Most volume over here in this wave 3 to the upside, which is what you want to see. And then in this wave 5, the volume is lower, as you can see, compared to the volume in wave 3, which also is very typical for an impulsive move. So this is something I do like to see. The bearish scenario on the daily time frame, high time frame, is the WXY scenario, where we then inside the X have an ABC expanded flat. ABC, where wave B ended perfectly in the designated wave B target area, the 1.236 and the 1.38 taken from the low of W to the high of A, and then we have this 5-wave structure to the upside, currently working on a very, very nice impulsive structure to the upside after the bounce of wave 4 on this 0.5. And as you can see, perfect bounce, wicking basically inside this Fibonacci, entering the potential trading setup over here for a long, trading it to this area, which basically, in my opinion, target has been reached. Then if we look at the confluences in this area, well, for this wave C, which then ends the bigger X for a wave Y to the downside, this is the most common wave C target. Between the 1.618 over here at about 27.7k and the 1.618 at the top, which sits at 34k. So is this it? Is this the high? Well, if we look at wave 3 and wave 4, the fibs over here is the most common target again for a wave 5 between the 1.236 and the 1.618. So if this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, one could think, okay, we might end wave 5 somewhere in between these levels, with the 1.618 being at 29.6k. And that would be my preferred scenario, where we're going to end wave 5 somewhere between the 28.8k and let's say the 32k. First of all, because we have the 1.618 over here, we also then hit the support resistance area of the past few years, which can act as resistance for a nice potential short trade. We also have the 0.382, which is an important confluence of wave X taken from the all-time high to the low of W, and the minimum target usually for wave X is the 382, and the 382 sits at exactly the same level as the 1.618, which is 29.7k. So that's very interesting. So a potential short trade, again, make sure your risk management is in line with a short trade in this environment, but then potential short trade is entering over here, stop loss somewhere above. Make sure you realize there's still a rare wave C target up there, and then trading it to the downside for a wave Y, where an interesting target will be like 12k, like basically between 13k and 10k, also backtesting this area. If we go to the medium time frame, I have the following scenario that I want to show you, which is in this case the bullish scenario, where we are moving to the upside. So potentially this is the end of the yellow wave 1, this is the end of the yellow wave 2, even though that is very, very short. It has the potential, let's say. And if this then is a very impulsive wave 3 to the upside, so a yellow wave 3 all the way to the moon, then this is a blue wave 1, 2, and then we expect, you know, another 1, 2 over here. So we have a 1, 2, 1, 2, and then eventually 3, 4, 5, and a lot higher prices to go. Now this is invalidated the moment we take the potential low of this blue wave 2 over here. And when we zoom in, this is low time frame stuff, which I'll show you in a second, but this might be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and we might be very close to ending wave 5. Therefore, this potential wave 1, a short setup can be seen over here, which I'll show in a second, with then wave 2 target somewhere over here. Again, invalidation is this for then a long trade to the upside. If we then look at the bearish scenario, we have again the potential of wave 1 could be over here. It's either there or there, but my preference would be the end of the bullish wave 1 over here, then working on a wave 2, which has deeper targets than currently shown. Actually, there's like three scenarios on the chart, pretty messy to be honest. But we have then in yellow, we have then the end of wave 1 over here very soon, where this then is a 1, 2, 3, 4, waiting for the end of wave 5 in this bigger wave 1. Then this bigger wave 1 all the way from the 15.4k low is going to have a wave 2, which the golden pocket area is sitting about like around this area as shown earlier on the high time frame counts, let's say around like 19, 18k. So that's an interesting area for wave 2, and then eventually from there wave 3 to the upside. Another scenario which doesn't change the fact that all the scenarios are basically leading to a short in this area. That's what I'm basically saying. So even though we have 3 scenarios on the chart, they're all potentially going to have a short setup over here, which is this one I'm showing on the chart. So this is the yellow scenario, then the end of wave X in the bigger high time frame WXY, ending X over here for then a big wave Y to the downside. Also again a potential short setup, put your stop loss somewhere above. And then if this is a very bullish wave 1, where this yellow one ended over here, this is wave 2, then we are in a green wave 1, green wave 2, and then a lot more upside in a green wave 3. However, all of these scenarios are basically saying, hey, this might be a potential short area. Of course, we have to wait and see what price is going to do in that area. Then we have the low time frame scenario, where this is again the bullish scenario. Not going to stay too long with this one, because once again this is then a 1-2, then we have another blue 1-2 before a big move to the upside, and again potential short over here to the downside for this wave 2, with then a long setup of this wave 2 to the upside. The reason I don't yet have the trades on my chart is that, well, we're still ranging over here, still creeping, like making higher lows, so, and higher highs as well. So let's wait till price is tumbling over to be more certain of what is going to happen next. But in this scenario, again, the invalidation is at 23.9k. The low time frame bearish scenario is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where this wave 5 might already be in over here with the high that was made over there. I do have a alternative, of course, very low time frame scenario, but then the wave 5 can be in over here and now creating an A, B expanded flat C to the downside, which I will show you in a second. The main thing is that the fips that you see over here, these two, is again the wave 5 target taken from, if this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and now working on 5, these fibs are taken from the high of 3 to the low of this wave 4, and then create this wave 5 target area. But as you can see, we are slowly creeping above this target area, which is something to take notice of. So we got to see what's going to happen with the potential end of wave 5. However, we are definitely in a range structure, and as I basically shown in a quite recent video, I believe actually yesterday, I said like we could be in a scenario where it's going to be like a 3, 4, and then another like ending wave 5, then another, like basically what I'm saying is I think I've shown that we could be in a bit of a range or a diagonal before then falling to the downside. I would still very much like hitting this resistance area though. And if we then go to the very low time frame scenario, this was a scenario I shown in my previous video where wave 5 is going to be an ending diagonal. So we then have again the high of 3, the low of 4, and then we have a wave 1, 2, 3 hitting the target area for wave 3 in a diagonal perfectly with a couple of wicks, going down for wave 4. Now wave 4 honestly is a little bit deep because this 61866 is a rare target for a diagonal ending diagonal wave 4, as you can see, and even more rare is the 786 and the 886. But this is a rare target, but nonetheless it is a target. And then from here, I wouldn't like to see it go down much further. Of course, invalidation is the low of 2, but then from here, one would expect a move to the downside. We do, once again, have bullish divergences, a higher low on price, but a lower low here on the CVD, which is the yellow line and the blue line. Both of them are showing lower lows, while higher lows on the price. Just keep in mind, these can be leading, meaning that if this goes down, price might go down, but you know, we're in a bullish market environment, so one could say, okay, going up also in this scenario is with this scenario we would expect these CVD divergences to play out and basically take the high of 3 inside wave 5. And there you can see these are the more common target areas for wave 5, which includes the high time frame range value area low as well. And then the low time frame bearish scenario is that wave 5 is already in, and we have a 3-wave zigzag in the A, which hit the rare target of the 1.618, and now we're working on a 3-wave in the B, which then also is a zigzag, a 5-wave move upwards to the more common target, the 1.38 and the 1.236 over here. Perfect confluence with the high time frame range value area low for then again a potential short setup. So basically almost all of these scenarios I've shown on the different time frames are almost leading all to a short setup. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be a short setup, of course, because once again, we have to wait and see what price does. But guys, on this channel, we are not FOMO traders. We are not YOLO traders. We are traders that wait and see what price does. We have our strategies, we have our entry requirements, and based on that, we enter the trade. However, this area of resistance is going to be very, very interesting for potential short setups. But nonetheless, remember, I also have scenarios where we might push through or maybe turn around shortly before pushing through. So whatever happens, make sure you have your strategy and entry requirements solid in place and trade safely. Big news over here, guys. We're almost at 500 subs. I got many messages in the comment section about a Discord channel. If we're gonna reach the 500 subs, currently sitting at 496, I'm gonna open the Discord channel. So guys, please, if you want, subscribe to the channel. And then again, I hope this video was helpful or valuable to you. Thank you for watching and subscribing, and I will see you at my next video, guys. Bye bye.